The top Swedish junior hockey league is called the J20 SuperElit. It's one of the top junior hockey leagues in the world and can be compared to the Canadian CHL or the American USHL. In contrast to the North American teams, which are run independently from the pro teams, in Europe and in Sweden they are run by the organizations which also have a pro team and other teams at any junior level. This also brings upon that the players can play some pro games while they're still in junior, which is very beneficial to their development. The league brings up NHL prospects year by year, and for example, just the Frölunda Indians, which was one of the best organizations in Sweden, brought 8 NHL draft picks in one season a few years ago. The league is run in a very professional manner, and the junior teams can usually use the state-of-the-art facilities and coaches of the pro teams. Also, the national team in Sweden is doing very well in the last decade and has reached the top 4 in each the World Juniors and the U18 World Championships almost every year. Our next interview will be with Pierre Johnson from Sweden. Pierre is a former hockey player that played most of his career in the SHL, the highest Swedish hockey league. He was also drafted in NHL and played some games for the Swedish national team. More recently, he coached in the U20 of the Frölunda Indians, which is one of the best teams in Europe and in the world when it comes to junior hockey. He will be the right guy to ask about the J20 SuperElit of the Swedish junior hockey system. Hi Pierre, thanks for being here with us today.
Hi Martin, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the first question will be, where do you take your players from in Frölunda? Do you have regional scouts, national scouts, or also international scouts?
We try to take all the players from the region actually. We have national and international scouts that go around and look at all the tournaments of course, but we try to keep it as regional as possible, but over the years we had like 3 or 4 guys coming in from all around Sweden, but we try to keep it regional.
What's the lifestyle of the players in the junior hockey in Frölunda? Do they practice in the morning or in the evening? How does that work also with school?
They all live in separate apartments, all spread all over Gothenburg. They go to school, of course. We take a big responsibility for them to go there and really try to make them good in school and keep up the grades as good as we can. Practice-wise, they practice Monday, Wednesday and Friday. We practice 4 times a day, 2 times in the morning and 2 times in the afternoon. One physical and one ice practice in the morning and the same in the afternoon. So they go to school afterwards and come back to the rink after school. So it's a tough schedule, and Thursday we practice 2 times and they have games 2 times in the weekends. So it's a tough schedule.
Do you as a team or organization help each player organize their school and apartment? Or is that something that the players need to do by themselves?
No, we try to fix everything for them, especially for those guys who comes from outside of Sweden or inside a little bit further away. We try to arrange everything from school and the apartments and try to help them as much as we can just to feel at home.
So we know that Frölunda stands out when it comes to junior hockey. We see that they've got high-level NHL draft picks every year, with some years ago having 8 draft picks in one NHL draft. What does Frölunda do so well that makes it stand out worldwide?
I think, first of all, I think we practice really hard. Those teams that think they're practicing hard, I think they could go even more practices. Second of all, I think that we really believe in taking up juniors from our junior program in our pro team and try to help the players. Maybe those who can't play in the pro team, we try to help them out in Sweden, maybe in the Allsvenskan, Hockeyallsvenskan league. That's the division under the pro team. I think that we build up sort of a training and pro thinking wise program in Frölunda that really puts pressure on the guys that comes here, and they really know what we expect of them before they come, and we tell them before they come that, are you really sure of this? Do you want to come here? Because it's going to be tough 3 years or maybe 4. So we really almost try to convince them not to come, so to speak, but a lot of guys do, and we're really happy for that. And yeah, we succeed in a lot of guys, but you know, everyone can't succeed, but we try to help everyone as best as we can.
You follow the development of the players so well and also see the juniors turning pro. What do you think is the most important thing for a junior to understand when it comes to pro hockey?
I think they have to understand that today is the off-ice training is so important. They need to be physically prepared to play against men. And I think that the ice hockey that developed during the few last years is you really need to be good at skating. Your skating is so important. Then I think you have to know that, okay, what kind of role can I take? What player can I take out in the pro team? And that's I think a lot of players that scores a lot in the junior team thinks that they're going to come up in the pro team and play the same game. We have seen over the last few years that that's not the case. Maybe you have to grind it out in the fourth line for 1.5, 2 years, and then maybe take a step up in the line. So be prepared to take a role that you're not really happy with, but do it anyways.
So now to the U20 SuperElit as a whole. How good is it also compared to the CHL in Canada, Major Junior? And what do you think are the differences and similarities?
I think the Swedish under 20 league is a really good league. I think that we managed to a lot of players stay here and play here. Of course, we could improve the audience. I mean, we have 150, 200 people in the stands, and I of course, it's much more fun to go over there and play for 5, 6, 8,000 every night. So we can improve that. But I think hockey-wise, I think it's a really good league, for sure.
So now you maybe also have some players that are not quite ready for the SHL right after their junior career. Do you help them find maybe another team in lower leagues, or how does that work?
Yeah, we have a farm team. It's in a Division 1 team that's called Hanals. And we're trying to establish as good as connection with them as possible, and try to get our players to play against men. As I said, it's really important for them to try that out. Then we have the SHL, we have the Hockeyallsvenskan, and we have the Division 1. And all of those 3 leagues are really good. And you know, for a lot of players, maybe you start in Division 1 next year, Hockeyallsvenskan, maybe you stay there for 2 years. But yeah, as at the end, I think a lot of our players take the step, and everybody has their own journey, so to speak. Maybe someone go to another region in Sweden and succeed, but I think our program for 3 years helped them develop a lot of things that they could have help with during their careers.
Do you think that for a junior hockey player it's really important that he makes a SuperElit team, that it's the only good league for juniors in Sweden? Or can he also go elite and then maybe work his way up?
I don't know. Of course, it's better to play in the SuperElit. Of course, most of those organizations have a really good program, but the ones under that has good programs also. I'm not saying that they have bad programs, but of course, SuperElit is the best to play in if you come to Sweden, and there's quite a lot of teams. So I mean. And
if you look at the younger players, do they also move around between the junior leagues? For example, a guy starts out in the elite at 17 and then comes to the SuperElit at 18, for example?
It depends in case to case, of course, but we took a player that played in Division 1 in another team that played for us for 2 years, and he's now in Hockeyallsvenskan and is probably going to be in SHL in 1 or 2 years. So you can take that road also. I mean, your career is not ended because you're not playing the SuperElit. So just work hard every day, so it will work out.
So when you assist your players turning pro, do you also advise them on getting agents or which agents to get and so on?
Yeah, we talk to a lot of agents and scouts and stuff almost every day, and of course during a lot of years you build up relationships with a lot of agents, and you get a better feeling for few of them, and of course if the players come and ask you which agent, I mean, you can say a couple of names, but I think every agent is doing a good job, and I don't think we can say we're never telling them that you should have this agent or that agent, but if they ask us, we can say a couple of names that we think that's been working out for a lot of other players. So, but we're not telling them which agent to have. Absolutely not.
So that was it from our part, Pierre. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.